So for general purpose camera, what I mean by that is bullets, dome, and fisheye. Our product position can be broken down into C, V, and S. So I guess we start from C. So C is the entry level. Basically, we have offerings for bullets, for domes, and for fisheye. Here is the list for the domes and the bullets. Okay, so we got the 2 megapixels. That's the 68 and 69. These are the 2 megapixel. And then we have the 5 megapixel. So in general, C series can be broken down into two parts by resolution. For most of them in C series, and generally the IR distance it's at 30 meters. And they don't provide IO cables. So you can see that in this segment, the camera hardware is a lot simpler than what we are going to see in the V and S series. Now, in general, for the C series, we don't have the smart deep learning based algorithms other than the 69 series. Okay, so 69 is a special product. I think it's launched last year, and it's the first entry product for Vivotech that has a deep learning based algorithm on board. Now, since the algorithm does need a lot more computing power, one difference that it has compared to the other cameras is the WDR. So the WDR is software based instead of hardware. And that's probably the biggest difference between that and other cameras. Okay. Other from that, it's probably only camera in our family that doesn't support Trim Micro IoT security. If you're looking to look at remote controls, remote lenses, then you'll be looking at the 68. So you can see that the 68 models are all in remote for 2 megapixel. If you're looking for a fixed lens, then you'll be looking at the 69s. Okay, so we have options in 2.8 and 3.6 millimeter lenses. Now that same idea goes for the 5 megapixels. For 80, it's fixed. And then for 88, those are remote. Okay. So you can see that there isn't a special model for indoor cameras. All the cameras are outdoors. Okay, so we don't have another separate C series indoor model. So all the models will work indoor and outdoors. So I guess that somewhat simplifies the basic portfolio of the C series and makes it a little bit easier to select. A couple of honorable mentions that wasn't mentioned in the previous slide. So in C series, there's two cameras I think that's worth mentioning. Maybe this will be interested if you are in a retail business. These are the smaller designed cameras. So FD9182, it's this one. You could actually, it's a recess mount camera. So if you're working with a retail store or a boutique store, then a lot of the camera housing goes on into the ceiling. So it's not as big and obvious. Some of the retailers doesn't like that. Another one is is FD9166. It's also pretty small. The housing doesn't go into the ceiling, but it's a small miniature dome. Something that's special about this one is the IR that's on it. So this IR is 940 nanometers, so it's not visible to the eye. Even during the nighttime, you won't see the red IR lights, LEDs. Then we have the fisheye. So back in last year, what we did is that if you look into our fisheye model, the actual hardware, they actually share the same housing. So you got the housing for C series and the Supreme series, the high-end series, the housing should be the same. So everything is modular with a plate on the bottom, the actual camera itself, and then the outside cover separated. So it should be a lot easier for installations. Now, what's special about the fisheye is that for fisheye, we actually have camera options for outdoor and indoor separately. The difference between that is the IR. So for indoor, you can see that there isn't a black ring that's on the outdoor version. So for the indoor 9180-H, that camera doesn't have an IR. And for the 9380-HV, I believe the IR distance is 10 meters. Yeah, it's been mentioned right here. Okay. Now, all of which these comes with a hardware WDR. And then you got the general housing for outdoor cameras. So that's the entry level of fisheye. So entry level cameras pretty much covers the general form factors.